do that. Plus, I got kind of like this, thing on me about my weather app because you talked about it so bad. To
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm accurate or
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's that one weather app you had, then you just throw that out and do not give the people that information because that is false. It is wrong,
not.
and so we don't want to lead the show off with your weather. So you just stick to sports.
All right. Okay. And I'm gonna give me a new weather app too, man. So hey man, we've been off for a couple of weeks simply because we've been on the road with June Ball. Um, just staying busy and keeping a lot of girls playing and things like that. And actually, I was telling a couple of girls on the team that when you're talking about June, playing in June, we were actually there was only I think 3 days in the whole month of June that we weren't playing basketball, and those were 3 Sundays that we were off. So yeah, man, June ball was good.
Yeah, June ball was definitely good. It's a good time, just great opportunity. For those that don't know, June ball is a time where the high school coaches get a chance to work with kids again. Historically, after the high school season, you wouldn't be able to work with your kids as far as coaching and anything other than just like an open gym where you throw the balls out and let them run. But then it would come June where you could actually get them in the gym, you could practice them, you can coach them, you can help, skill develop, so on and so forth. And so June ball used to really be a big thing. Now that the ruling that you can practice all year long, some people don't put as much emphasis on June ball but for us, June ball is still extremely important for kids to get out and just to be able to really see as they change levels and everything, see what the different styles, pace, um, athleticism, skill level, coaching levels are. And so it's just a good time to really get out in front of your coach, whatever high school you're at. Typically all high schools have some version of June ball, but it's a good time to get out in front of your coach and just kind of get an idea of what's happening in the program prior to trying out in November.
And it gives us also a chance to see what fresh incoming freshmen we have
Mm-hmm.
coming in. Of course, you're not going to get a read on everybody because a lot of the freshmen don't know about it. But it does give you a chance to see your incoming freshmen, see what your future looks like also. Um, and just knowing from what's happening around town, looks like the school's flag high coach and MPA, but it looks like we got a good group of freshmen coming in this year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the freshman class that we have coming into Flag High is very solid. I think Coco has some very, very solid freshman
Right.
players. And then, as you go through and you have like MPA and bases, kids that played in, say, the middle school league that you saw had some talent to them and they're going to be going to those schools. I think it's just a great thing for the community. The stronger our high schools can be, the more competitive we can be across the state. And so it's always good just to get a good group in, and we don't have to necessarily go through those lulls that some schools, programs, cities go through. We come in, we here, we don't even want to stay here, we want to step up. So
I know all the girls that might be watching this, like, yeah, we didn't heard that. We've heard that. Yeah, yeah, we've heard. But for me, man, I think for all schools, the biggest thing about June Ball is the camaraderie, the team building with the girls because they're actually because since it's a new team, regardless if they're coming back from last year or whatever, you're still with a whole different team because of girls graduating, girls moving from JV to varsity and things like that. So just the opportunity for these girls to get on the vans with a different group of young ladies um, in the motel rooms and sharing rooms with different ladies. And just that team building aspect is huge, something we don't have to really worry about in November.
yeah, and as you graduate people, your leadership changes.
Right.
As you know, each year you get pretty much a different group. There may be sometimes when there's somebody that's not quite ready for varsity, and we feel that we uh, may be able to utilize them their senior year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the college. It's a D1 kickback. You get a kickback, and then they get to play JV again, and then they'll get to come up and try for varsity their senior year. But you get a different group every year, and
Right.
um, my leadership may change,
Mm-hmm.
every year as people come into their own. We may have 2, 3, 4 year varsity players, but they may not be in that leadership role in the beginning,
Right.
but as they age and get older and get more mature, they may become the leaders, and styles are different, and so everybody works and adjusts, and like you say, get to know one another on the basketball court, but then in the hotel rooms and on the activities, they get to know each other just off of the court as well.
Right. Right. And of course, we all know that that's important. Just being able to be able to play together, especially with girls basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They have to get along. What they say, boys have to win to feel good. Girls have to get along to win. So, well, something like that. But anyway,
definitely wasn't it, but we'll go with it for today.
Boys got to win to be happy. Girls got to be happy to win. How's
there
that?
you go. That's the
All
one
right.
you always say. There
That's
you
the one
go.
I always say that. And I'm always messing up too. But it's honest to God truth, man. So it's just great to see that. It was a great June for everybody. And not just with our teams. We had a chance to, kick it with some of the Coconino players, some of the Coconino coaches, and we all get to mingle, and we're all, especially coming from Flagstaff, have one goal and do what's best for the kids. And having Coach Schrader and Coach Joe and all them over at Coconino, the staff you've gotten here. We've had a chance to actually spend some time with the MPA staff, a couple of their players, and so it's just great, man.
Yeah, it
So
is, and that goes across the state. Like our first tournament that we went to, we went down to I say Pauston. Some people say Poston. I don't know how you say the darn thing, but I say Pauston Butte, where Coach Biggs coaches. A former player for us, and I had, we got the invite, and I was like, all right, we'll go out there since it's Biggs' school, so on and so forth. And then as we was driving out there, I remember why I said I'd never go out there again, because that is a long trip. You might as well go to Vegas. Going out there is
right, right. That was a
yeah,
long trip.
3.5 hours and so on and so forth. So might as well just go to Vegas. But that was a good tournament. It was an invite tournament for us. And, we got to play some good competition. In that tournament, we played like Cibola, Catalina Foothills, Southern Arizona Prep, who have like a girl's about 6'7" and a 6'4" girl, you know what I mean?
That's
and
big
then
girls.
Mountain Ridge, we got to play, and we got to see Maya Verse back on the high school scene as opposed to the prep scene. And we got a chance because we met in the winners bracket. We got a chance to see her, and it was just good. It was a good experience. And then GCU the next weekend, we got to face who all do we face? We faced like Perry, Desert Vista,
Kellis. No, Kellis was in AU.
Yeah, it was a few. Then we did NAU, and then we had ours. And at ours, we were at Saguaro from Scottsdale came up. We had Payson, we had Stray Foothills, Coconino, and so we got to get some good basketball in. And on the varsity level, don't quite know what we would have won. We probably would have been winning percentage wise. We might have been about, let's say, 72%.
72.5, 72.8.
No, we just going 72%. You're that math guy. We just gonna go 72% win percentage. We're gonna leave it at that. But then the beautiful thing about it is, for us, we had close to 40 girls at practice. We may have 40 at practices, but on the roads, we going, and we got 3 teams. We got at least 30 girls at each thing. And so it's just great to see girls wanting to be a part of it. And then our younger group had a lot of success. The first tournament, you guys were undefeated and champions. The second tournament at GCU, I believe you were undefeated.
No, we lost. Defeated? We only lost one game all of June, and that was about 2 points at GCU.
Okay.
Just to get the record straight. I was just saying, man, it's a good group of young ladies.
It is a good group of young ladies, but we're going to have to talk about that, because you were supposed to go undefeated throughout that. That was my whole thing. I was getting on here to talk about how you went undefeated throughout, and how, the younger group is just getting ready, and we're going to be solid. But if you got a loss, we're going to talk after the show, because I didn't realize that.
and that was about 2 points, man. The only loss we had, we lost by 2 points, and we missed like 6 wide open layups. Seriously. So, but that's what June ball is for, to take care of that now. So, man, that's all good, man. So congratulations to all the schools. Congratulations to all the ladies that work, that are continuing to work. So it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, good stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. What would be in your opinion, the most advantageous thing about playing June ball? If you're talking to a girl, what would you tell a girl, irregardless of what school she's going to? What's the most advantageous thing about their participation?
Well, I think for us, it's, and for anybody, because what school, with us in November, when you try out for teams, we only go 4 days. You try out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We put up the cut list on Friday. I know there's been times when you just had to go another week, another 2 days or so just to make sure. And most other schools may do the same, but even then, you're only getting 7 or 8 days. And he's looking at everybody. He's got to make, the coaches have to make decisions right then. Where if you go to June ball, now you're practicing 4 days a week. Um, you're playing every weekend. So the coaches are seeing you 4 weeks, 5 weeks, as opposed to 4 days. So that's the biggest part about June ball, as far as I'm concerned, is just being seen by the coaches and giving yourself a chance to make the team in November.
I like that, but I like the way you normally put it a little bit better. If it's a player out there, what do you think is going to be better, for a coach to see you for 4 weeks or 4 days?
4 days. Yeah, that's what I tell the girls. I was just trying to explain it, but yeah, that's exactly what I tell the girls who have called me and said, "Hey, coach, how important is it for me to play June ball?" And I let them know, "Hey, would you rather the coach see you 4 days or 4 weeks?" And that's the advantage of June ball. So yes, that's twice. I guess I didn't explain myself this morning, man. And we started 30 minutes later. So maybe since I'm old, I need to get up early.
No, man, you did a good job explaining. Yeah. You just didn't get an answer that I wanted to hear. You know how sometimes you trying to bait them into giving an answer that you normally say. So that's all.
Okay, so I need to stop trying to be so cute and just tell you what I say.
Please do.
And I ain't got to worry about it because I don't cuss, so I'm good. But man, stop that. Anyway, I got one other thing we hadn't planned on talking about, man, but it just came up in my mind.
Okay.
I want to ask your opinion on something.
Uh-huh.
We were looking at the videos this week about the little back and forth between Draymond Green and Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins is the sportscaster for Sports Center, and he's very opinionated about a lot of things. We know Draymond Green just won a world championship. He's very opinionated. Draymond Green wasn't happy with something that Kendrick Perkins said and voiced his opinion, and that was Kendrick Perkins said that once he actually prayed before the 7th game of the NBA championship, when they were about to play LeBron James' team, he actually prayed that LeBron got hurt before the 7th game. And Draymond took offense to that. How do you feel about it?
Well, I just think that obviously you shouldn't want anybody to get hurt, you know what I mean? Especially if you plan and you plan at that level. Even any level that you plan at, I want to see your best. Right. I don't want to be able to beat you and your best player sitting on the bench, and then the thing is, like, if they were there, you guys wouldn't have won, so on and so forth. So it's unfortunate that injuries happen anyway. So that's part of it. In order to win, you got to be lucky in terms of being healthy throughout. There's a lot of camaraderie that goes into it. There's a lot of X's and O's and repetition, so on and so forth. And so to wish somebody get hurt, just so that you have a better chance to win, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that if you're going to win, you want to beat them at their best. And so for me, bring your best. And then if our best can't beat your best, you deserve to win.
Right. And and that was, especially Kendrick Perkins and the type of player he is, that was strange for me hearing that come from him too, because that's what I'm thinking, hey, and it's the 7th game, of an NBA championship. No, yeah, you come. I'm better than you.
Well, that's the thing is, if it's the 7th game and LeBron was in the series already, you've already beat him 3 times with him. Right, you lost 3 times. So let's get that rubber match and let's see who the best.
Exactly. So that was kind of strange. I think, Jermaine had a few choice words. I mean, Draymond had a few choice words, maybe that he should have, but at the same point, I can see where he's coming from. And one of the other points he made is, so if you were playing against us this year, are you hoping that that Steph gets hurt? Is that your frame? Uh, the way you're thinking now.
Yeah, if that's your
So
mind frame. So I
right,
mean, obviously, if that's what you're thinking in one series, you may be thinking that in another series because you want the road to
right,
be a little bit easier to the championship, so on and so forth. And so I just think that that's even a dangerous thing to just put out there in
right,
terms of how
right,
people do. And you know, if it's all right for Perkins to be praying somebody get hurt, maybe I just come under Steph while he's shooting, you know what I mean, and see
right.
if he land on my foot or whatever it is. And so, man, bring your best. I'm gonna bring my best. At the end of the day, we're gonna see who better. That's the way
Right.
I think you should get down.
And plus, I mean, you guys are all in the same fraternity together. I mean, when you talk about the NBA, whether we talk about
Mm-hmm.
high school ball or anything, and so you should have each other's backs like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
because you're all playing hard, and like you say, accidents are a part of the game. Injuries are a part of the game. So you pray that nobody gets hurt,
Right.
as opposed to anybody gets hurt. So, but that was just interesting to me. That was one of the hot topics today. So this past week. So I just want to bring it out there, see how you thought about it, man. And
Yeah,
I
no.
knew how you thought about it, and I think that's the way anybody should think about it. And so,
But I also think, Coach, that the name calling went a little too far in terms
did
of Dre's response. You know what I mean? We don't need to be breaking each other down and putting out there publicly terms that are
derogatory.
obviously derogatory, racial slurs. I mean, we've come a long way as a people, but we don't need to break each other down by coming back and throwing certain racial slurs or negative slurs or derogatory slurs at one another in terms of just in essence just to break somebody down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You made your point, just make your point. You don't have to throw that extra on by calling them this, that, and the other.
Right. And I agree with that too, man. It just, I mean, it happened in regards to, I think this is a great point for us as coaches of young people to understand you got to be better than that. You got to be a class act instead of, like you say, name calling, use it as a coaching moment
Right.
and say, that no, we want the best and we want them to bring their best. And so, yeah. So that way I was just interested. And that comes from professional side. So that was just kind of interesting. But anyway, I appreciate that, and that's why you're a Hall of Famer, Coach. That's why you're in the Flagstaff Hall of Fame.
I'm in the Flagstaff Hall of Fame many years after you got in there.
Yeah, but see, it, I couldn't legitimately be in there unless you was in there. You were in there for being an athlete, a great athlete. I guess I'm in there just because I'm your friend. Uh, they say it's community and all that, but I don't know about all that either. I think they just know that I'm your friend. But that that is a great segue into something that I'd really want to talk about, and that's the Flagstaff Sports Foundation Hall of Fame. Okay, um, we've been doing this for a few years now. In the last year or so, um, I've become president of the Flagstaff Sports Hall of Fame. When that happened, you graciously came on with me to help me, and we've got a great board now. And we had a class of 2020 selected, and because of COVID, we didn't get a chance to induct them. We didn't get a chance to give them their just dues. So just want to put this out there that Friday, August 26th at 5:30, we are going to have our Flagstaff Sports Foundation Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. We will be out at Twin Arrows Casino, and we'll have the open bar. All that will open at 3:30. We'll have dinner starting at 6:30. Doors actually open at 5:30. Dinner is 6:30. Induction ceremonies at 7. Um, $60 plate dinner, man. All the food goes to helping youth within the community, buying football shoes, basketball shoes, helping them pay their participation fees and things like that. So we're really big on Flagstaff Sports Foundation, looking for people to help. And just want to run down the inductees for 2020, man. So people who are going to be able to join the fraternity with you, and I'm sure they'll mention just happy being part of something that Coach Tyrone Johnson is a part of when they do their induction speech, right?
Man, you
But
silly with that. You look at the accomplishments that a lot of these people in the Hall of Fame has had, and mine pale in comparison. But hopefully, by the time I finish this coaching gig, they can really look at me like, okay, I see why you're in there.
you've done enough there, man. I mean, you've been the coach of the year, the region coach of the year, the state coach of the year.
Keep it going, man. Keep it
Yeah,
going. Let's
I
go.
can keep it going. I can keep it going.
Not that the 2020 class, man. Let's talk about
I
this.
got
Keep
you.
it
I
going.
got you, man. First, one of the first people, and a gentleman that's on our board is Mr. Michael Flournoy, who's being inducted. You know, the judge. We call that man the judge. You know, Flournoy knows a little bit about everybody and everything that's happened in Flagstaff. He's been here all his life, and you know, we're just getting him in there. You know, he's a longtime resident. He was a member of the 1955 state championship team. That was so and he also assisted in bringing like the Phoenix Suns here when they were coming to camp here. He played a major role in that. And I think one of the big things sports wise he did in Flagstaff, he actually brought um, Wilt Chamberlain and the Los Angeles Lakers here to Flagstaff to play against Dick Van Arsdale and the Phoenix Suns. You don't know nothing about that. You probably don't remember all those names. Well, you might remember Wilt, but that was huge back then, man.
Oh yeah, I bet that was real huge just to be able to have, Wilt up here in the 7,000 feet and see him live
Yeah,
and in person. That skill set, that's pretty good. But I
right.
got a question for you, Coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you think Judge was an integral part of that team in 1955?
We got a board meeting Wednesday, and you know Judge is coming there talking crazy. I don't answer this right. Judge is like 90 years old, but he gonna come up in there trying to fight. I think Judge was an integral part of that team. You know, I played on the 72 team. I didn't get a lot of team time, but I was an integral part of the team.
You was.
You know, because I was I was a bench, on the bench. I was a cheerleader.
Yeah,
Right?
you was into the game. You
I
was
was into the
encouraging
game. I
other
was supporting, and the
You
guys
gave
were
you're all at practice.
I did. I did.
Yeah.
I pushed them to their max. And so Judge was an integral part of the team, you know. I don't know if he was good as me in PE.
All right, let's go.
Okay, but Judge, he was, you know, well deserving, very much deserving. Judge has been here doing so much stuff with the Cardinals, with the Suns, and just within the community. So we are happy to be able to induct him into the Hall of Fame. One guy that's still around here doing it, man, Mr. Oberhart. Bob Oberhart, man, that man has been running the sidelines of Flagstaff High School for I don't know how many years. Let me see if I get a little information. Spent 47 years as a statistician for Flagstaff High School, and he's still doing it, man. So you got to show him a lot of love.
Oh, absolutely. And the book that he has, and just all information, and I mean, just a labor of love, and it's been real cool. One thing about Coach Oberhart, I had him as a teacher in middle school.
History. No, really?
Yeah.
I did not know he was teaching in middle school.
Yeah, he knew his history for sure. So
well, that's why he wrote this book on the history of Flag High School football and basketball.
Yep.
So he's done one for each. And so if you don't know it, it's called Eagles on the Mountain. And he's got the records, he's got all the stats, everything from Flagstaff High School sports. And so it's really good. He updates it every year. If you get a chance to get a copy, get that. He will be going into the Hall of Fame. Coach Larry Quintero, who was the coach at NAU for a number of years. Rick Smith, who's on our board and whose team will also be going in, was one of his assistant coaches at NAU while he was there. Larry Reed, who was with the Kansas City, who's also the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs now, was on that coaching staff with Coach Quintero here at NAU. As a matter of fact, that coaching staff that Coach Quintero had, I think there's probably 7 NFL coaches right now, all came out of that coaching staff here at NAU. So Coach Katira did a lot while he was here, and hopefully, I've been talking to his son Jay. I think Coach Katira is 95 or something. And when I tried to call him the other day, he was out on the golf course. So he's
That's a
still,
beautiful thing.
yeah, man. So he's still doing it, and he will be here for our induction ceremonies. If we'd have done this back in 2020, we also had a shot of getting Andy Reid here
I'm
to
glad you
present it.
corrected that man's name because
Yeah,
I was gonna say, man, quit messing up people's name.
man, I do that all the time, man. But I'm old. I'm grandfatherly. I can do that.
Okay.
And with my apologies beforehand. So, so I apologize beforehand, man. So Coach Quintero will be coming up and be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So we're just excited about that. Um, Coach Ed Vesley, man, Ed's a guy I know back from when he was on the police force with the city of Flagstaff. Just one of them guys when he was on the police force that you knew was a good dude before he got into coaching and everything. And so he's been giving a lot to the community for a lot of years. Then he got into coaching. I keep on taking my glasses off. Um, and he's coached at all levels. He was the head coach at Coconino High School. Um, he had 4 state playoff appearances in 5 years, and he was a Grand Canyon coach in 2006. So Coach Vesley has been around. He started Peaks, I believe. I could be wrong, but I know he had something to do with that, just with the summer baseball programs, and he's just been constantly pushing and working hard with the baseball community and the youth of Flagstaff. So, and he's got a couple of sons, Tanner and Kyle, who are also great athletes and just really good dudes, man. So his whole family um, should, as all of them, but should really cherish in him being inducted. So I know you probably knew Coach Vesley. You know Coach Vesley. You know
Oh yeah.
Tanner. You know Kyle. Probably coached both of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great family, you know what I'm saying? Some great athletes, and then Coach Vesley just like I say, starting the Peaks and everything, and then athletes that he brought through, and gave those athletes some opportunities, and some went on and did some great things.
Right, right. I think he was there with Kyle Lobstein,
Yeah,
who was actually the first player in the history of Flagstaff High School to pitch in a Major League Baseball game just a
he
couple
was
years
at
ago.
Coconino High School.
Yeah, he was in Coconino. So good. Hey, man, that's great.
You said Flagstaff High School, man.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to get this man his due just.
I'm
He
sorry.
came
Oh,
from
yeah, I don't
Coconino.
want to mess that up. Yes, he was definitely at Coconino High School. You got flag on my brain. I was reading something else here about one of the, I was going to talk about our other inductee. That's what's happening. I'm trying to read, I'm trying to talk at the same time. And this, I believe, will be our 4th Flag High School state championship team that we'll be inducting into the Hall of Fame. And Coach Rick Smith, um, who coached all 4 of those teams. So this will be the class of 1983. That team went 11-1. Had Benny Zanzuki quarterback and had Tim Gill in the backfield. I think Tim broke away for a 55-yard touchdown in the state championship game to win it. So just excited about that, and just happy to see some of those guys come back because I was actually at the game. At that game, I was actually at all 4 state championship games and at all the games during the season. Actually, that was their 3rd straight championship. They went 11-1. The next year they won. That's when they won their 4th straight championship. So this will be the 1983 team that will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And just excited about seeing some of them guys. Some of them are still here in town, and so yeah, man, that's gonna be good. And last but not least, a young man who we both saw. Well, I don't know. I think he's older. Is Greg older than you?
Yeah, Greg is older than me, man. I grew up with his younger brother.
See, but Greg Turner, man. I've been like this. I watched Greg grow up on the south side of Bretton Hall ever since 5 or 6 years old, watching this young man play Pop Warner football. You talking about an all-around athlete. You talking about Greg Turner. We got to get him on the show, as with all these guys. Maybe every week we get one of them as we get closer to inducting them into the Hall of Fame. But Greg, man, the dude is just, you talking about brilliant. You talking about smart. Just the list of things he's done, man, is just crazy. But talking about one of the best athletes to ever come out of Flagstaff, period. You talking about Greg Turner, man. I'm talking about the baseball field, the football field, the basketball court. Just if he ran track, he could probably do that. He could probably ice skate. He could probably play soccer. You know, and just a good dude, man. And that's Greg Turner.
Yeah, he
You
can
know,
play golf.
I see him on Facebook. He got the look. I see him on Facebook all the time with his golf
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah, he be out there all the time. He be trying to. I tell him, hey man, we're gonna have to go to the links and whatnot. How much money you got? I ain't at that level right now for to be betting you no money. That's just a fool's bet. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, man. He be out there golfing the rough there, man. But you know, Greg played at Flag High. Greg went on to U of A, had a stellar career as a defensive back at the U of A. I think he was drafted by the Houston Oilers.
Yep.
Actually, I've got a copy of his contract. You know, and then he went on and played in the USFL. I think, but was it the Wranglers that he played for? But the Arizona Outlaws in the USFL. So I mean, the dude was a stud, man.
Yeah,
And
no,
still is.
absolutely.
It
Yeah,
still
still
is.
is.
Look like he can still play, man.
He
So
probably could.
yeah. I know he can hit somebody. He got no doubt about that. But like I said, man, Greg, I mean, you talk about just one of the nicest down to earth guys around, man. Um, it's amazing how he could turn it on the football field and be, you know, that aggressive, and then walk off the field and be that mild mannered and just that nice is a testament to, you know, to what people say can't happen with football players. So you know, I'm just proud of all of them, and looking forward to the event.
Yeah, indeed. It's going to be a great class that's being inducted, and it'll be fun just seeing and catching up with a lot of people. And then, you know, hopefully we can get the word out to the community and we can get a lot of support and just for these athletes that's coming in. And then with this new board that we have on, they're real adamant about making this mean something, making it special, not just, you know, oh, we know them, let's throw them in, making sure they got the proper credentials and everything else. And so I think, you know, to be a part of this as it continues to go on is going to be real special with the board that we have, because they're looking to make this the Hall of Fame in town, if you will. So
right. So if anybody's interested, you know, anybody that you know that you would like to induct into the Hall of Fame, you can always give myself a call, give Coach Johnson a call if you want information on tickets, anything like that. Hit us up. Because we're really looking forward to pushing this, making this something really special. If you've got a building where we can house the plaques, you know, we just need a little building or somewhere to make us a little Hall of Fame building. Hey, we're looking for all the help we can get to honor our Flagstaff athletes and community members. So, you know, hey, Coach, it's been a great show, man. I mean, it's always nice when we just sit up, chop it up, talk, and act crazy like we do, man.
Yes, indeed, Coach. And I don't know what you got planned for the day, but I do know one thing. Y'all ain't got to go home,
but you gotta leave here. Peace.